Welcome, everyone, to the No Name, No Shame podcast. Today, we're going to talk about 5 reasons why everyone needs a side hustle. My name is Kiss and Tell Terrell, a.k.a. The One, a.k.a. the guy most likely to take your mom on a date and make her feel great. Nah.
No! What's wrong with you?
All right, and I am here with my co-host,
Patrice.
Yeah. So today we are going to talk about side hustles and why everyone needs one. Patrice, side hustler. Me, I'm something like that. So we're going to go over the 5 reasons why you need a side hustle. So the first reason we came up with, and we stole a little bit from an article.
I didn't steal anything. This is all your topic.
Oh, having a side hustle is empowering. So what do we mean by empowering, Patrice?
I mean, it gives you a sense of self-worth. You're not working like if you have a side hustle, this is something that you have consciously made an effort to do for yourself, or it's to work on a goal for yourself. So I think that's a way that it empowers you because you're not, I mean, some side hustles you may be working for somebody else, but in the end, it's something that you don't really have to do. It's something that you're choosing to do. And so a lot of times we kind of work harder on those side hustles.
That's true. I also think like having your own side hustle gives you the power of choice. So let's say you're working a 9 to 5 job. Your employer comes and tells you, hey, I need you to work 2 extra hours. And well, you hate your job, but you need that pay. Of course, you're going to work it. But having a side hustle gives you the opportunity to say, no, I don't need to do that. It gives you more power in your decisions.
And choosing. It gives you the choice.
And the other thing is, and I don't know if you mentioned this, you could learn new skills. So, I'm learning just a little bit, not that much from Patrice about crafting, but
He's learning everything from me about crafting.
but having
He's such a jerk.
having a side hustle allows you to learn new skills. And a part of, my future side hustles, podcasting. I didn't really know that much about podcasting, but I put together a little studio. Now, I knew a little bit about studio stuff, but, podcasting, I've learned a lot about video editing.
You've been researching and learning different things. So, I mean, that really goes back into that first, like you're empowering yourself to be successful in having something outside of a regular 9 to 5.
So our second reason why you need a why you
Pod
need
hustle.
a podcast / side, why you need a side hustle is so you can pay off debt. Now, I don't know how many of you guys out there have debt. In the past, I had credit card debt and a little other stuff. I used my side hustles in the past to pay it off, and I really don't owe anybody any money except for Uncle Sam for my student loans. But having that ability not to have to worry about your car payment, about, credit cards,
House mortgage, rent, anything like that.
and we know how the system is connected. Like you miss one payment, all of a sudden now your car goes, you need a new car, and your credit, your credit score has gone down. So one of the good things about having a side hustle is you can square off with everybody that you owe money, get rid of it, and you're your own man or woman, and you can make better decisions for yourself.
Well, I think that's great. I think one thing that like I've had to learn to do is side hustle responsibly. Because sometimes you get that extra money and you may not necessarily put it towards something that you owe or put it towards things that need to be done. I got this money. Well, you're keeping yourself still in that same bind or in that same area. So you want to make sure that you're side hustling responsibly. And so in addition to paying off like any debt that you may have, you want to make sure that you're saving up money for any future situations that you may find yourself into. I woke up one day and my toilet, like I had to get all of the pipes repiped from underneath my house, you know? So like, and for that, like, you know, I've been making a conscious effort to make sure I put a certain amount aside so that if anything comes up, you know, I'm not stressed out and trying to add a whole new side hustle to pay for that.
So, you know, one of the things that my daddy taught me, you know, when you have a windfall of money, you take 10, 15%, you take that, you spend it on yourself. You YOLO, you get whatever you want. That new pair of Jordans, a pair of VR goggles for the metaverse, whatever.
A pair of what?
VR goggles. So you buy something that you want, you YOLO it. It doesn't matter if it really brings no value to you, but you want it. And then the rest of the money, so let's say you have 85% left over, you know, 50% you put that in savings, 35% you apply it, be it to your debt, maybe learning something that's going to help you.
Reinvest it.
Yeah, in the long run.
Definitely.
Our next thing is having a side hustle helps you build wealth faster, or well, just try to get rich faster. So how does it do that? It brings in extra income. Why are you looking at me like that?
He's always thinking about money, though. Always.
Okay, so yeah, maybe I am. So for me, I know when I have extra money come in, exactly what I'm going to do with it. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take some money. I'm going to invest it in stocks. That's long term. You forget about that. Yeah, market could go up and down, but in the future, it should be good. Mm-hmm. So I always take money and I think about my long term and I invested in stocks. Patrice, what would you do?
I'd reinvested in finding other ways of doing whatever it is that I'm doing. So I reinvest a lot of my side hustle money into. I reinvest it, and I like to do other things with it. But I do reinvest a good amount in it and making my side hustle grow. So eventually, like in my case right now, I've reinvested and did different things with that money. And so now my side hustle is really the main hustle. And so that's kind of, I don't know if that's generally what you...
We're going to get into that next.
I don't know if that's generally what you want it to be, because usually, you know, most people, you know, you're happy with, you know, doing a little something on the side, making in a little bit of money, maybe making enough money to pay off these high gas bills, or make enough money to pay off your high light bill or whatever. It's the summertime. You'll know that this heat makes the electricity go up. So maybe that's what you want to do. But eventually, like, for me, it's a little different because now my side hustle, and I have a few side hustles, but for the most part, each one of my side hustles can be my main hustle.
She's rich, y'all. Okay, no, but I want to like add something to that. So a lot of us have followed Patrice along her YouTube journey. I was there from the very beginning. I knew her, and you know, I was one of the couple people she told about it. And what we've seen, she started off with something simple like doing like a cricketing mat. Mm-hmm. And, you know, as she started gaining followers and making some money, she diversified. So she went, and I don't know the exact order, she went and got herself a glow for it. She got herself an embroidery machine. So she brought on these different skills that would bring in different people to see what she was doing, so she wasn't stuck in one box. And now she has different skills, kind of under the same umbrella of crafting, mm-hmm. but they kind of like, I'm trying to think of the word, maybe appeal to different sets of people.
They can function independently.
You know, you can have that glow forge and run a business off of it. Mm-hmm. You can have your sublimation stuff, run a business off of it. You can have, you know, your embroidery machines, run a business off of it. And even today, you know, somebody came to Patrice and was like, hey, I need you to do these shirts. Unfortunately, they didn't talk to me first because I'm the CEO.
He's not the CEO. He's not nobody's CEO, and he's definitely not the CEO of Craftable Things.
not Craftable Things, craft abilities. I'm not claiming Craftable Things.
From what I heard and what I read in the comments, you are the faux CEO. And you know what faux means? You know how you always want me to make you a Balenciaga shirt, a Dior this or that, but you want me to make it? That's what everybody thinks of you as the CEO.
Do you know, and I don't know if you saw this, there was a young lady, I'm not going to mention no names, she threatened to drive down here and fight me.
Who said they were going to fight you?
It was in the comment. Like, you better stop messing with Patrice. I ain't going to stop, though, so if you want to come fight me, let's do it. We can square up.
Don't worry, y'all. I could take him. He's lightweight.
All right. So, but jokes aside, and a young lady who wants to fight me, I love you. Uh, so the last thing, and Patrice kind of touched on it, or not the last thing, the second to last thing. Number 4, turn your side hustle into your career. And we've seen that with Patrice. She's taken what she's doing, and she doesn't really need to teach anymore. She just likes being around me and
It's not
having a
you.
good time.
It's the kids.
Well, she likes being around the kids and me, having a good time. And, as teachers, I know a lot of people think teaching is the worst thing in the world. I actually enjoy what I do.
Me too.
And that's why I'm here. When I stop enjoying teaching, I'm walking out the door. I'm going to go do something else.
Yeah.
But you can turn what you're doing into a side hustle, not a side hustle, a career. And we've seen like Patrice, and I can tell you from the very start, she built it up over 2 years. And now if she wanted to walk out the door, she can, and, she's good.
But I don't want to and that's another thing. That's another benefit. I don't know if we have that down, but that's another benefit of having side hustles. And I actually just said this to somebody before we did this because Terrell came up with this list. I did not come up with this list. So, but the one thing that I can say is that when you have a side hustle that you love to do, you want to make sure that it's something that you enjoy doing. Don't just go and hop on a train and say, you know what, I want to try this, because guess what? Eventually it's going to crash. You want to get something that you enjoy doing, because if you get a side hustle that you enjoy doing, it really takes away the stress of things that you have to do. So like, let's say we have to work as a teacher. We both went to school, got our degrees, and you don't want that to go to waste. And you're like, you know what, I worked hard for that, so I do want to do this. But you're going to have a side hustle. Teaching is not, and this goes beyond teaching. So whatever it is that you're doing, if you have a side hustle that you enjoy, it kind of makes what you do away from it a little more enjoyable or tolerable. Like you don't really feel like stressed out. I was just telling someone, I'm like, I'm able to come in here like happy, because everybody usually says like, do you ever like have a bad day? Like, are you ever grouchy? Because I'm always like on 100. And so I do, but because of what I do on the side, like the different things that I'm into on the side, like I feel no pressure. Like I feel no stress. And if something stresses me out, I don't let it stress me out here at work, because I know, I have some more options.
Yeah, I kind of lost.
He wasn't listening. He wasn't listening, y'all.
Um,
He never listens to me.
So
He never.
our final thing with side hustles is networking. So, and I'm going to give you a little story. When you start doing different things, you meet different people, and those people can give you or bring different opportunities into your life. They can introduce you to new skills. They can even introduce you into new ways to make money. And, so I was telling Patrice on Friday, I went out with, one of our coworkers, and I met up with somebody I used to work with at one of my side hustles. And, this guy is well connected. I had a great night. Everything was paid for. We went to the club. There was tables, bottles.
What type of club?
The type with women in it. But anyways, like it was like knowing this guy, having a relationship, and he has so many business relationships. When you go out with him, people take care of him. And you get to meet people who are well connected. I know this guy, and they can help you out. If I said, hey, I got my t-shirt business that I'm trying to get up and running, can you spread the word? He'll do it. So that's one of the good things about side hustles and meeting other people, is you never know how they can help you or you can help them, because it also feels good to help people and help people succeed. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
Are you going to listen?
I'm going to listen.
Because if not, then I'm just talking to everybody out here. So as far as networking, I see where Terrell is going with, it being a gateway to networking and collaborating with more people. I do agree, because let's say if I decided just to teach, I'm limited to the school like to the education system. And so I'm not really branching out or, doing anything else and not really meeting other people because honestly, when I taught only, it was just Terrell that I was stuck with. And so, and a few other people here that I really did not, do anything outside. And so once I started doing a side hustle and once I started, I've always done a side hustle. So like I do different things, not just crafting. But once I started getting out there a little bit more, like, yeah, you're able to network, you're able to meet other people. You're bouncing ideas off of them, they're bouncing ideas off of you. And I do find that, that is an added bonus, but you have to be willing and open to network and collaborate with other people.
That's true. That's why I networked with Patrice. But you know what? Before we finish this up, I'm going to give Patrice a little bit of a compliment. Before I met her, like in the school, I was known as the hustler. I always had this, that, and the other going on. Man, Patrice came here and made me look stupid. Like she was on point with everything. She got this going on, that going on, busy schedule, managing everything, and keep growing. So, I would say, a lot of the things that Patrice has to say, I know she doesn't look like it, but she has some good information and thoughts at times. So, guys, we're going to do a couple more podcasts about hustling, making money, but this is just, the beginning of why you need a side hustle. And, if you have any suggestions on podcasts we should do, go ahead and, comment down below. And if you're a real one, go ahead and subscribe. If you think that we should recast Patrice.
No, you're the one who's going to be recasted.
I'm the CEO.
No, you ain't the CEO. You are the faux CEO. But listen, if you guys want, if it's something that you want to do, that's usually where your side hustle comes from. You have something inside that you want to try. You want to do it because guess what? You never know what's going to be successful. Check out our very first episode, How to Get Started, our very first episode. And we also gave a lot of good information and just some encouragement for you to actually do it. Don't wait, don't sit around. You're making other people money. My mindset is I'm going to go hard. If I can go hard in somebody else's business, I can go hard in my own business. And so if you're working for somebody and you're giving them 50% or 60% because you're mad or you have attitude or you just don't like what you're doing, do not start a side hustle. Because if you're putting 60% into somebody else's, honestly, that's going to transfer, it's going to be you too. Most people who I find successful in doing business for themselves, they're just ready to go hard all around. So even if they're working hard for somebody else, their mindset is, well, I'm doing all this for them. I'm about to, go heavy for me. I could be doing the same thing that I'm doing for them for me. So that's just a little bit.
Okay, I'm going to throw in one piece of wisdom and a shameless plug. Guys, if you're trying to do something and you know somebody who's doing it, get yourself a mentor. And sometimes getting a mentor costs a little bit of money. You can't always expect somebody to do something for free for you. Because that person that's doing exactly what you want to do or is in that level where you're at, well, them giving you free time, there's no benefit to that. So sometimes people say, hey, consultation fee, I do classes. You got to weigh your pros and cons. And I think some of the times it's worth it. And I'm going to throw Patrice a little plug. I know she does some classes. Go and support her.
You've been nice to me today, Terrell.
I'm always nice.
No, you've been nice to me today. I can't believe this.
So
strange, y'all.
I believe that's the end of our podcast today, guys. And I'll see you next week.
Later, y'all.